is there is a center of the universe. When you look up at a clear night sky, you can see stars in every direction. It's almost as if you are in the center of the universe. But are you? And if not, where is the center of the universe? The fact is that the universe began extremely compact and small. Then every point in the universe expanded equally and still continues today. Although throughout history various people have proposed various locations as the center of the universe, proposing that there is an axis mundi, the central axis of a flat earth that connects the earth, heavens and other realms, which can also be found in many mythological cosmologies. Based on astronomical observations, philosophers in the 4th century BC Greece developed the geocentric model, which proposed that the center of the universe lies at the center of a spherical stationary earth, around which the sun, moon, planets, and stars rotate. But this is not true. So, unlike a Tootsie Pop, the universe does not have a center. What we usually get wrong about the Big Bang is that we imagine it as a typical explosion that starts from a single point, like a bomb. However, this gigantic celestial explosion was something different in a way that it caused the very fabric of space and time to expand, along with the entire universe. And it all grew at the same exponential rate as everything else at the same time. This is a complicated concept that can best be illustrated with the now famous balloon analogy, which was first proposed by English astronomer Arthur Eddington in his 1933 book, The Expanding Universe. To put it in simple terms, if you draw a bunch of dots on the surface of a balloon and blow it up, the dots will move away from each other in the same way that galaxies do in the universe. Remember that galaxies do not expand. This is because they are held together by gravity within their respective galaxies. When you look into space with a telescope, everything appears to look the same no matter which way you point the telescope. According to the American Astronomical Society, galaxies seen from Earth appear to be evenly distributed, indicating that there is no real preferred directions or center of the universe. This perfectly describes the cosmological principle, which states that the universe is both homogeneous, which means that it has no special place, and also isotropic, means that it has no special direction. The observable universe, on the other hand, is a bit different. It is defined as the area of space visible from Earth, from our perspective, from our specific point of view. Since the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago, light from all celestial objects has been traveling through space. Like I said earlier, if you look up at a clear sky, you'll see stars everywhere, and it almost feels like you are in the center of the universe. Well, humans have always assumed that the Earth is the center of the universe, with the Sun and all other planets orbiting it. However, it has been discovered that we are not even at the center of our own solar system, which is located on the outskirts of our galaxy, a galaxy that is floating somewhere in the universe. Edwin Hubble announced in 1929 that he had measured the speed of galaxies at various distances from us and discovered that the farther they were, the faster they received. This gives the impressions that we are at the center of the expanding universe. However, if the universe is expanding uniformly, as Hubble's law states, it will appear to do so from any vantage point. It is believed that the universe began as a single point that expanded and stretched to become the size it is now. While we all imagine the Big Bang as an explosion, science suggests that we see it as an expansion. So, instead of a place where the universe began to expand as a result of the Big Bang, there was a time where the universe first began to expand. The Big Bang Theory thing is a condition that affects the entire observable universe at a specific time. It's while looking at greener distances in all directions means going back in time. All current observations indicate that the universe has no center and by extensions, no edge, which is consistent with the cosmological principle. The concept is that no locations in the universe is unique. Instead, it appears the same everywhere at large and small distances, implying that for a center point to be existing, it must be unique in relations to the universe as a whole. The universe has similar properties everywhere, including density, temperature, and also the number of galaxies. Several observations show a universe that when zoomed out far enough looks the same everywhere because space expands evenly at every point in the universe. Galaxies separate at roughly the same rate, giving the universe a nearly uniform density and structure. So, no matter how we try to define or identify it, the universe has no center. It is consistent and does not rotate. We are certainly not the center of the universe. We live on a little blue planet orbiting an average star somewhere on the outskirts of our Milky Way galaxy, which contains up to 400 billion other stars and is part of the universe, which contains billions of other galaxies. The solar system is our whole cosmic address. Now, consider how small we are, yet we are aware of this unimaginable vastness out there. The idea that such a tiny creature as we are is aware of living in such a mind-bogglingly vast structure as the universe is simply fantastic. We have come to the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do well give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button too.